Good morning. Myself Supriya, Assistant Professor in Department of Information and Science from NMIT. So today I'm going to tell the topic of operating system. So in that operating system, I'll take one more topic that is called a disk scheduling. So first we'll see what exactly the operating system and why we have to go from disk scheduling. So first thing is, as we all know about the operating system is a fundamental software. So where we are going to use for the computer hardware as well as the software. So mainly we are going to concentrate on how efficiently you are going to use the hardware part as well as the software part by the use of your operating system. So in that, the first thing we'll see about the operating system hardware efficiency. In that we are going to see about the disk scheduling. So what exactly this disk scheduling? So why we have to choose the disk scheduling? So mainly the disk scheduling is done by the operating system and it was scheduled by the IO scheduling systems. So why we have to go from operating system again with hardware, again with software, again with disk scheduling means the disk scheduling mainly concentrate on how many number of hardware disk arms you are going to use in an efficient manner. So that we are going to call it as a disk moment or a disk arm we are going to call. So we can call one more name for the disk scheduling is IO scheduling. So this IO scheduling states that it's an input and output scheduling. So in this condition, the disk scheduling is mainly concentrated on hardware efficiency. So n number of the request, it will come from the process or it can come from the operating system or it can come from the system process. So in this condition, to manage how the efficiency, how we are going to manage the efficiency, it's nothing but your disk scheduling. So in this disk scheduling, mainly how we are going to evaluate the hardware efficiency is, it's a seek time. So what exactly the seek time is nothing but where exactly the disk arm has been located and how the reading and writing operation is happening in the disk we have to see. So that we are going to call it as a disk directions as well as disk distance. So in this condition, we have various number of requests to come from the disk to the IO request. So in this condition, we have from the operating system also, we will get so many number of requests and we will get from the system process also as well as from the user process also. These are all three set of requests where we get to store the data in the IO disk. So in this condition, when you start using any input and output operations, we have to concentrate on where exactly the data has to store and what exactly the data address is there and how the memory address is overcoming that and how the memory is giving the space for your disk as well as how many number of sectors you are going to transfer into the disk we have to see. So this has been come from the IO request. So then comes mainly how your operating system maintains your set of requested. So if you are going to pass n number of the request, obviously the n number of the requests will be stored in the queues. One after the other, the request will execute by your disk. That we are going to call it as a disk arm. That disk arm will be stored your data. So once the storage has been happened, you have to read the data or you have to write the data. So that will happen in your disk arm. So next comes with how you exactly are going to store the data. We have certain algorithms to store the data So we have a 5 set of the algorithms here. Mainly we are going to concentrate on FCFS, SSFT, SCAN, CSCAN, CLOOK. So these are all a set of algorithms is there. So these are all a set of algorithms we are going to serve for the IO disk. So first we'll see what exactly the FCFS by taking a small example. So this is what your sequence will be there. So this is of your string sequence. So in this condition, we have to store the head moment. So we are going to take with the head pointer is 53. So in this condition, you can see here, this is what a queues we are going to pass and this set of the numbers has to be stored in your operating system by the use of your FCFS. So this is what, so you can see FCFS is nothing but first come first serve. Whichever the string has been coming from the first, we have to go for that and we have to execute it. So the first point is, in this condition we have to start from the head start at 53. So you can see this is of your ready queue, starts from your 0 to 199. So we are going to take the head start at 53. From 53 you can see the next set of the data we are getting it as a 98. So the 98 has been transferred, that from here to here we are going to call it as a head moment. From there it is taking with 183. So you can see the arrow marks here. So 183 has been pointed, again 37, again we are getting to 122, 14, 124 as well as 65, then comes with the 67. So this is how the sequence will go for the FCFS. So how you are going to calculate is, we have to take higher value minus with the lower value from each set of the head count, then final answer will get it as a 640 for this FCFS. So next comes with SSTF. This is a shortest seek time first. Whichever the element is having a less sequence, we will go with that and we will execute. And this, in this condition you can see here, we have with the head count as 53 and the next set of the value we have 65 and this side we have 37. So we have to see the difference between 37 and 65 with the head count. Whichever we are having with the least, we have to transfer from that side. So you can see the arrow mark 53 to 65, 67, again coming to 37, 14, 98, 122, 124, 183. So like this we have to traverse from your head to your end point. So the calculations will be 65 minus 53, 67 minus 65, like that till you will get 183. The final answer will be 236 head moment it will come. So next comes with your scan. So in this scan what it will happen, this scan we are going to call it as a evaluator algorithm. So in this condition you can see here, so whichever the value has the least from your graph, you have to travel towards and you have to reach to the end point 0, then you have to go with the highest value. You can see it has been reached to 0, then it has coming towards your 183, so that you can take it as a highest value 199. So how we are going to calculate is 65 minus 0 as well as 183 minus 0. So the final answer will be 236 head count it will be happen. So next comes with the C-scan. So in the C-scan it's a similar kind of your scan. So in this condition you can see the head moves from one end of the disk to the other, serving with all the requests. We have to make sure that each request in your strings has to be travel. So in this you can see, in this condition you are going to travel from 53, again it is reaching to the highest as 199, then again it has come with 0, again it is going to end. The final answer how we are going to calculate is 53 minus 199. So 199 minus 53, then again comes with 199 minus 0, 0 minus 14. That is a 14 minus 0. The head count will be 183. Head moment will happen in this C-scan. So look, C-look is nothing but it's a similar kind of your scan where you are going to touch with your edges of your sequence. So you can see here 53, it is going to touch with 183, again it is coming with the least value, again it is coming with your 37. So this is how we are going to find the C-scan also. So the final count will be like 322 head moment will be happen. So this is what my disk scheduling topic. Thank you.